In this video, I'll show you how with these wooden scraps, we can make an item that especially delights women. The wood I'll use for this project is all pine. Here we have a piece that measures 29 centimeters in width by 34 centimeters in length. These three pieces measure between 20 and 30 centimeters in length. The narrowest one measures just over 35 millimeters in width. Initially, I'll run everything through the thickness planer to standardize the thicknesses and also to clean them up. Here on the table saw, I'll make all three pieces the same width of 35 millimeters or 3.5 centimeters. This piece will be cut to 25 centimeters in length. This one will be cut to 22 centimeters. The last one will be cut to 20 centimeters at a 45-degree angle on both sides. In the next step, I'll make some markings on this piece. I've already positioned it on the combination square at the 14.5 centimeter mark, which is half the width of the board, and I'll make the marking like this. The marking will be repeated on this side. Now, with the square, I'll draw a line. On both sides, the marking looks like this. With a nail, I'll mark the point where the lines intersect. Next, I'll use the router with the 6mm straight bit and the side guide, which I placed inverted, to cut the piece into a circular shape. I'll place this part exactly on the hole that was started with the nail, and here I'll put this screw that measures 4 millimeters by 30 millimeters, so that it fits snugly but not too tight. Now I'll lower the bit about 5 millimeters. I left the bit almost touching the wood, and now I can tighten the accessory. Always remember, to do this, it's important to keep the equipment unplugged from the power source. With the router in position, I can now make the cut. I'll do this gradually in 5 millimeter increments until I've cut all the way through the wood. Here is the finished cut, so I can now remove the router. In the next step, I'll mark some points on this part. I've positioned it on the square at the 13 millimeter mark, and will make a marking in the opposite direction of the lines that were made, on all of them. At these points, I will drill using the hand drill and this 6 millimeter bit. A 7 millimeter bit can also be used. Next, I'll mark and drill these two pieces. This one measures 25 centimeters and this one 22. I'll start with the larger one. I've positioned it at the 2 centimeter mark and will make the marking like this, on both ends. I adjusted to the 17 millimeter mark, which is half the width of the piece, and will mark in the opposite direction, on both sides as well. For these, I'll drill using the 3.5 millimeter bit with a 10 millimeter countersink. On this part, I'll make 2 more markings on the opposite side of where the holes were made. I positioned it at the 5.5 centimeter mark and will make the marking at the end, like this. I adjusted to 4.5 centimeters and will mark at the other end. Again, I'll position it at the 17 millimeter mark to mark in the opposite direction. at both points as well. Here it will be drilled using the 2.5mm bit with a 6mm countersink. Important: at this point, where it measures 4.5 centimeters, the drilling should be done at an angle, like this. With this piece ready, I'll mark the other one, which measures 22 centimeters. I've positioned it at the 14 centimeter mark and will make the marking like this. In the same way, I'll mark with 17 millimeters in the opposite direction. At this point, I'll also drill using the 2.5mm bit at an angle. In this part, I'll cover the hole where the screw was inserted and some nail marks that were already in the wood. For this, I'll use this wood filler in chestnut color. I'll apply it with a metal spatula. After the filler dries, I'll sand everything using the orbital sander with 150 grit sandpaper. With everything sanded, I'll start the assembly. I'll start with this piece that measures 22 centimeters. I'll put glue on the end. Here's the hole. It's in this direction. Now I'll use the piece that measures 25 centimeters. I'll position this hole like this. It measures 5.5 centimeters here. I'll secure it using this screw that measures 40 millimeters by 3.5 millimeters. Now I'll use this piece, which was cut at a 45-degree angle on the ends. I'll apply glue to the ends. While also cleaning up the excess glue, I'll place it like this. It will be secured with a screw here. With the piece squared, I can now place the other screw as well. Here's a part of our project. It's known as a French cleat. Now I'll make a marking on this part. It will be 2.5 centimeters from the end. In the opposite direction, I'll mark with 17 millimeters. At this point, I'll drill with the 2.5mm bit. The depth will be a maximum of 10 millimeters. After joining the parts, I'll sand again to remove any remaining unevenness. Using the router with a 30mm roundover bit, I'll round all the edges on both sides of both pieces. After machining, I'll sand manually, first with 220 grit sandpaper and then with 320 grit sandpaper. Next, the item will be painted. For this, I'll use wood sealer, and to add color, I'll use this chestnut dye. I'll dilute it with thinner and apply it with this electric sprayer. If you want to deepen your woodworking knowledge or find ready-made projects to generate income, check the links in the video description and the first comment. I've also provided links to equipment that will help you create excellent woodwork. After painting, I'll complete the assembly of the item. At this point, I'll use 2 pieces of sisal rope, each 6 millimeters in diameter. Each piece measures 1 meter and 40 centimeters in length. This metal ring will also be used. It measures 25 millimeters in diameter. I'll pass the 2 ends of the ropes through the ring. Now I'll pass the ends through the holes that were made. I wrapped some masking tape around the ends. This way, it will be easier to pass through and the rope won't unravel. I passed one of the ends here. Now I'll take the rest of the rope and pass it through the other hole. I'll do the same with the other 2 ends on the other side. With the masking tape removed, I'll tie a knot at each end, so that the remaining part is the same on all. In this part, where the hole was made, I'll put this hook. It measures 45 millimeters in length, 20 millimeters in width, and 3.5 millimeters in thickness. It will be screwed in here. It looks like this. It's almost coming out at the top. Well everyone, here is the finished project. It's a hanging plant holder. If you liked it, click like and subscribe to get more videos like this. Leave your opinion about this work in the comments. It will be an honor to respond to you. Join our channel for a small fee and unlock exclusive benefits. Also, your support will be essential for us to continue creating more videos with complete projects. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.